to check under the bed and make sure there's no Disney executives under there?
Oh, not again.
Yeah, only this time, it wasn't just me. They were taking all my favorite people and replacing them with diverse women complaining about the patriarchy.
The Snow White slept and waited for her prince to come, but he never did. Because a woman shouldn't have to depend on a man. Snow White was brought back to life by a lady doctor.
And she lived happily ever after?
Well, she couldn't indulge in strenuous activities like handball, but otherwise, she was fine.
That's nice.
If you thought Disney's Snow White was a train wreck, just wait, because South Park just jumped out of a moving car, lit the train on fire, and then roasted Rachel Zegler alive while the Simpsons cheered from the sidelines. We're talking full public meltdowns, desperate phone calls, TikTok memes everywhere, and a career collapse so bad even Disney's trying to act like they've never heard of Rachel Zegler. And it's about to get even worse, because Family Guy's loading up next with a bazooka. Today we're breaking down exactly how Rachel Zegler managed to turn the most iconic Disney princess into a career obituary, why even Disney is trying to pretend this movie never happened, and how South Park managed to body slam an entire company in under 30 minutes. Buckle up, it's uglier than a Snow White merchandise clearance rack. Lately, nothing, and I mean nothing, has been funnier than watching the Walt Disney Company absolutely detonate itself in front of the entire world. Snow White was supposed to be Disney's next billion-dollar reboot. Instead, it face-planted so hard that the sidewalk is suing for emotional damages. The merch is gathering dust, the theaters are emptier than a vegan barbecue, and Disney investors are running around like headless chickens wondering what went wrong. And just when you thought the disaster couldn't get any worse, South Park showed up like a drunk uncle at a wedding, just absolutely unloading on Disney, on Snow White, and especially on Rachel Zegler herself. Rachel, who was supposed to be Hollywood's next golden star, is now at the center of the biggest roast session 2025 has seen so far. She's not just losing roles, she's losing dignity at a rate scientists are calling historically significant.
It's a brand new exclusive event with all your favorite South Park characters.
Dude, school is going to be so awesome today. I had explosive diarrhea all night. I like big boobs. Oh, hamburgers.
How does this even make any sense?
It makes perfect sense. I think the problem is you.
Woke White the Reinvention. In South Park's new exclusive special, Snow White isn't dreaming about true love or finding happiness. No, that would be too problematic. Instead, she dreams about posting 12-slide Instagram rants about the patriarchy, sipping oat milk lattes, and starting a GoFundMe for emotional labor awareness. Modern storytelling, folks. Gone are the days when a Disney princess was allowed to be sweet, charming, and hopeful. Now, Snow White lectures woodland creatures about gender pay gaps and refuses to make eye contact with the prince because he didn't sign a waiver first. The dwarfs, replaced by a group of magical creatures that look like extras from an Amazon diversity commercial. And South Park didn't stop at just Snow White. They torched Disney's entire corporate culture, portraying every reboot meeting as a train wreck where Kathleen Kennedy barges in, shrieks, make it more lame, and demands another checkbox ticked off. At this point, South Park isn't even writing jokes anymore, they're producing free documentaries. Disney isn't reimagining classics, they're exhuming corpses, dressing them in virtue signals, and shoving them on stage hoping nobody notices the smell. And the audience, oh, they noticed. Meanwhile, Rachel is stuck in the middle of this train wreck, holding a box of matches and wondering why everything's on fire. Remembering her press tour greatest hits? If you don't agree with me, I don't need your business. Everything I touch turns to gold, and then obviously slandering the prince.
Vote for Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights. Come on, go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
Yeah, about that. Turns out everything she touches turns into a meme compilation, with 800,000 likes and the comment section ratioing itself into orbit. When the South Park special dropped, TikTok lit up instantly. Clips of the parody exploded across For You pages worldwide. Meme edits mashed her interviews side by side with South Park's roast. On Twitter, Woke White was trending with captions like Snow White and the 7 PR complaints. and first Disney princess to file a workplace harassment lawsuit. It wasn't just a little roasting, it was a full-blown cremation. And Rachel, instead of laughing it off or staying quiet like literally anyone with basic PR training, she went a full nuclear meltdown behind the scenes. Sources close to Rachel claim she was furious about the South Park special, furious enough that she personally contacted Comedy Central, demanding they pull the episode because it was defamatory, targeted, and dangerously humiliating. Which is hilarious considering this is the same woman who spent her press tour calling Disney's own fans problematic for liking traditional storytales.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince?
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But it's one of those things.
So true,
it's an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self.
But hey, bullying the fans is fine. Mocking her on South Park, unacceptable. Unfortunately for Rachel, South Park doesn't apologize. They don't pull episodes, they don't give a single emotional support lizard about Hollywood crybabies. They aired the special again the next night just for fun, and thanks to Rachel's tantrum, the episode went even more viral. TikTok reaction chains hit millions, YouTube reactors pumped out content faster than Disney pumps out live action remakes. It was amazing, and just as Rachel thought the heat might die down, the Simpsons rolled up like the Grim Reaper in a trench coat. In the latest episode, they parodied Disney's Snow White reboot.
Excuse me, your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you? Spare me your white savior complex.
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
Their version of Snow White doesn't get woken by true love's kiss, nope. She gets revived by a doctor lady, immediately scolds her savior for being a privileged male, and demands to be referred to by her LinkedIn title instead of her name. The dwarfs gone, replaced by a committee of magical entities that hold weekly emotional check-in circles. It was savage, it was accurate, and it came from inside Disney's own walls. Imagine working for a company so disconnected from reality that your own cartoons are mocking you. Instead of shutting up and laying low, Rachel did what Rachel does best. She kept posting Instagram stories, TikToks, and likes on tweets trashing South Park's fans. It was like watching someone trapped in quicksand start digging with a shovel. At one point, Rachel posted a TikTok of herself lip-syncing a sad Taylor Swift song about being misunderstood, while the comment section just filled up with people asking where the dwarfs went. Every move she made just reminded people why they stopped rooting for her in the first place. Rachel wasn't trending anymore because she was a star, she was trending because she had become a full-blown cultural joke. And behind the scenes, Hollywood started moving quietly but decisively. Producers pulled her from shortlists, casting directors flagged her as a PR liability, agencies whispered about her being unreliable and high risk. You think studios want to gamble $200 million on someone whose biggest fan base is now ironically watching her flop? No chance. Even Netflix reportedly passed on a project she was circling. When Netflix thinks you're too radioactive, that's when you know you're finished. Rachel's reputation is now what industry insiders call uncastable without controversy. Translation, thanks but no thanks, we'll call Zendaya instead. Meanwhile, Disney itself is trying to desperately to dig itself out of the hole Snow White shoved them into. Merchandise is sitting unsold, theaters are offering $4 ticket nights just to fill seats, the marketing department is ghosting the movie like it's an ex who still owes them money. Snow White's worldwide box office numbers are so bad they might get studied in business schools as a case study called How to Set Fire to a $1 billion Brand in 6 Months. Investor meetings are bloodbaths. Reporters say shareholders are furious over the live-action strategy. Disney executives are scrambling to spin the narrative, blaming everything from bad timing to online harassment, but everybody knows the truth. They abandoned what audiences loved, and audiences abandoned them right back. And if Rachel thinks it's over, Family Guy is reportedly working on their own roast. And Family Guy doesn't just roast you, they turn you into a running gag for the next 5 years. Imagine dedicating your career to landing a Disney princess role, only to end up being the setup for a Peter Griffin joke about career suicide. That's not a controversy, that's a legacy. Rachel Zegler isn't just in hot water, she's swimming in the Mariana Trench of Hollywood embarrassment. Bottom line, Rachel Zegler thought she was starring in a fairy tale, instead she's starring in a South Park special, guest starring in a Simpsons roast, and soon to be body slammed by Family Guy. And Disney, they thought they were selling nostalgia, instead they sold activism nobody asked for. And the audience responded by ghosting them harder than an unpaid intern after 5 PM. When you become the punchline, when you become the meme, when you become the cautionary tale Hollywood uses to warn new actors about blowing up their own careers. The calls don't just slow down, they stop altogether. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, comment, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.